may not realize it, but this is one of the most worthwhile upgrades in my opinion. Stick around and I'll explain why I think that. What upgrade am I referring to? I'm talking about upgrading the comfortability of your home theater with new ergonomic seating. I'm Barrett, this is Spec of Tech, welcome to the channel. Now, I normally do get excited for new gear in general for my home theater, but something about these beautiful leather seats had me extra excited. It was an upgrade that I've kind of been putting off for quite some time while I've been upgrading my audio, but I shouldn't have, because now that they're in my room, guys, I am so excited for these chairs. I know it's silly, it's just a chair, but maybe they're not just a chair. I mean, sure, they do look fantastic in the dark chocolate top grain leather with the LED lighting, but there's a lot more going on here that we're going to talk about. First, let's talk about what Valencia home theater seating is all about. Valencia home theater seating is actually becoming one of the best-selling home theater seats out there. They have done this with their exceptional quality, reasonable pricing, allowing customizable orders, and constantly striving for perfection in the home theater seating industry. And besides all that, they've managed to pack in some truly incredible features as well. We're going to get to the pricing, the assembly, as well as the features of these chairs in just a second, but first I wanted to give a big thank you to Valencia for sending me these home theater chairs for review. Valencia has actually had great customer service for me personally in the past. They may have sent these chairs to me for review, but in the past I had purchased 4 of their chairs about 2 years ago, and those chairs have held up extremely well. If you would like to see the 1-year review of the chairs that I had purchased, I'll link it in the top right hand corner, as well as down in the description below. Before we discuss price and some of the luxurious comfort features of these chairs, let's take a look at how these chairs assemble. Valencia has actually made it very simple for you to assemble these chairs yourself. So each chair has a ratcheting mechanism on one side and a locking post on the other, and all you need to do is line up one of the ratcheting mechanisms with one of the locking posts on the other chair, and then when you push them together, you will hear the ratcheting mechanism clicking as they come closer and closer together. So just get them nice and snug. And all this does is keep the chairs from separating. And then the next step is to get the backrest of the chair, and then you just line up the slots with the rails and then just press down firmly, and you'll hear both of them click in. Just give it a little tug to make sure that it's in there good, but once you hear that click, that should mean that it's locked into place. And if you ever do want to take the backrest off in the future, it is super easy. All you need to do is pull out both of the locking mechanisms in each of the slots, and then just lift up. It's very simple. So after you've installed the backrest of the chair, there are some electrical connections that need to be plugged in as well, and depending on the make and model and what features it has, some of them have more, some of them have less of these connections, but Valencia again has made this super simple. If the backrest of the chair that you ordered does have powered options, there will be some electrical connections made between the backrest and the base of the seating, but these are color coded, so it's really simple. All you need to do is plug them in and then close the latching mechanism to make sure that they don't come undone. Besides the electrical connections for the backrest of the chair, there's going to be one electrical connection for the base of the chair, and that's for AC power. Again, the plug is really straightforward. You just plug it in, close the latching mechanism to keep it from coming undone. Now you've attached it to the AC adapter, and then you just plug that into a wall or a power bar, and now your chair is powered. Now that we've discussed how these chairs assemble, let's get into some of the other details. But before we do, if you guys are into audio and home theater, consider subscribing. And if you do, tick the bell icon. And if you could take just 1 second out of your day to click the like button down below, it really takes you no time at all, but I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys stay tuned on the channel. I do have some Croson base actuators coming, and I will be attaching them to these chairs, which will make them even more of an integral part of my home theater. Alright, so let's talk price. So for the particular row of 4 chairs that I have here, it's $3,998 USD, and that is at the time of this recording. So as you can see on the website here, there's plenty of different configurations of these chairs. You can get them as separate chairs in rows of 2, 3, 4, or 5 with a love seat in the middle. And of course, your price is going to vary depending on the configuration that you choose. Valencia is known for having some pretty good sales on these chairs from time to time. So if you want current pricing at the time of your viewing, just click on the links down in the description below. And just a quick note about the links down in the description. If you guys are planning on buying anything that I do discuss, including these Valencia chairs, please consider using my links. It's not going to cost you anything extra, but it really does help out the channel so I can keep bringing you guys this awesome gear with honest reviews. Okay, so you're probably wondering about the features of these beauties, and there was actually one feature that I wasn't even expecting. But first things first, one thing that isn't very exciting to talk about, but should be covered, and that's the durability and the frame. As you can see, guys, I'm a pretty big guy, and the chairs that I had purchased 2 years ago had held up extremely well, especially the one chair that I used the most, because when I was doing measuring or anything with the YouTube channel or doing listening sessions, that's the chair that I always used, and it still operated as new. You wouldn't have known that it had been used for 2 years by a guy like me. And I have to admit, guys, that these Tuscanys feel even more well built. The framing feels very sturdy. You feel very supported. And even for a big guy like me, I have no doubts that these chairs will last for years to come. But a sturdy frame doesn't mean much unless it's comfortable. This ergonomic foam wrapped in premium leather with quilted stitching is incredibly comfortable. I thought that my Valencia Verona that I had for 2 years was comfortable, and it really was. I mean, I could sit through a Lord of the Rings marathon without any aches or pains, without getting sore at all. But I must admit that the Valencia Tuscanys that I have here feel even more comfortable than the Verona, and I thought that chair was already incredibly comfortable. So let's get into some of the features of this chair. So when I have a recliner, I'm going to use it, guys. I mean, what's the point in having a recliner if you're not going to recline back? And I always use the recliner pretty much every time I'm sitting in the chair, unless of course I'm doing some 2-channel listening or some experimenting for my YouTube channel. But other than that, if I'm watching a movie or enjoying some video games, I am going to recline. But with the Valencia Verona that I had before this, of course when you recline, you end up kind of looking up at the ceiling. And this is one of the reasons that I do have my display up higher, but I always had to use a pillow behind my head to prop my head up so that I could see the display properly. I'm happy to say, guys, that the pillow is a thing of the past. These Tuscanys have a plush power headrest built in to give my head just the right incline to see my TV. When I was shopping for my Valencia Verona about 2 years ago, I did know that power headrests were an option, but these now have an option that really surprised me, and I didn't know that my chairs would come with them. So for those of you that may need a little extra back support, this will be a real treat. So I'm sure you figured it out by now, but Valencia now does offer power lumbar support in many of their models, and that is including these Valencia Tuscanys. The power lumbar support actually has a significant amount of adjustment, so for those of you that may need a lot of lower back support, there's going to be no issues there. The lumbar support actually does come out quite far, and then of course for those of you that just want a straight chair back, you can just reduce the power lumbar support all the way and your chair back will be straight. So besides the power headrest and the power lumbar support, of course these do have power recline as well with a wall hugger design. So for those of you that may need to place this close to a wall, no worries there, you need very little space for these to recline. That covers all of the power adjustments. And for a guy like me that likes all forms of tech, I must admit, guys, the power adjustments are pretty cool, and they really do help you get a more comfortable sitting experience when watching movies or playing games or listening to music. But the features still don't stop there. There's actually a significant storage space underneath each of the armrests that uses an air piston for soft opening and soft closing. The storage compartment is actually surprisingly deep and is a great place to store any accessories that you may order with your chairs. Valencia offers a variety of accessories that you can just place in the armrests using the special accessory holder. 2 years ago when I purchased my other Valencia chairs, I had also ordered 2 table trays as well as a wine glass holder, but a tablet holder is also available. And it still doesn't stop there, guys. These chairs actually really do have a lot of features. Besides the power adjustments and the USB port being lit with LED, the 5 cup holders are also lit with blue LED, and each of the footrests has a blue LED underneath them. As cool as it looks, because I do like blue LEDs, of course there is a way to turn them all off. There is a button on the power controls that you can toggle the LEDs on and off. But one thing to note here is that the power controls are always lit as long as the chair is plugged in, but they are on the inside of the armrest, so it doesn't cause any distractions, and it's actually kind of handy because in a dark room, you're going to want to see the controls. Another thing to note here is that the same button that you can press to toggle the LEDs on and off, if you hold that button down, it will return all of the power adjustments to their starting point. So let's say you had your headrest up and you had your lumbar support out and you were fully reclined. If you just hold that button down, it'll return them all to their starting point. So that covers the features of the chairs that I have here. But Valencia actually does offer some full customization for those of you that might be looking for the personal touch. So if you are looking for a personalized custom color scheme, all you need to do is click the link down below for the Valencia website and look for the Build Your Own button. Let's take a look at some of the options. First, you need to choose your model. Valencia has a very nice variety that range in price point. For this example, let's just choose the Tuscanys because that's what we have here. They even have a couple of models in an XL version for those big and tall guys out there. After you choose your model, you can choose what type of leather you want, whether you want it to be two-tone or even add a different color for piping material. Then you can even choose a different color of cup holder, and then finally you can choose your accessories. Of course, every option does change the price, but it's really great to see that Valencia has these customizations available for those of you that want that personal touch for your home theater. For those of you out there that may be looking, I do personally recommend checking out Valencia. Like I said, I had their chairs previously for 2 years and I had 0 issues, and I must say I'm incredibly happy so far with the build on the Tuscanys here. And I know it sounds silly, guys, but I was really excited for these home theater chairs. I had always been eyeing down the Tuscanys after I bought my Verona. There's just something about the quilted stitching that I really like. It has a nice classy look, and all of the features, of course, are fantastic as well. And it was an easy sell for my wifey. She's very happy with the look of these chairs as well. And as a matter of fact, she's probably happier than me. She's a big fan of the dark chocolate. She wasn't a fan of the black chairs I had before. So everybody's happy now. In the beginning of the video, I had mentioned that this is one of the most worthwhile upgrades in my opinion, and here's why I think that. What's the point in having that 4K crispy display with all that acoustic goodness if you aren't comfortable and relaxed while you're enjoying those things? In my opinion, guys, you need comfortable seating like the Valencia Tuscanys here that you can just sink into and let all the aches and the pains of the day just fade away while you enjoy your favorite movie, music, or gaming. And that's why I think that this is one of the most worthwhile upgrades that you can make that I feel sometimes doesn't get the attention it deserves in the home theater community. Please consider subscribing, tick the bell icon if you do. Please take just 1 second out of your day to click that like button. I really do appreciate it. Remember to stay comfortable in your home theaters. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.